Anime of the Week, Episode 2, Claymore. We'll start with the assessment and then I'll do the full review. Okay, I have to tell you, the first 5 episodes really grabbed me, and Claire in particular, as a character, really got me. The whole thing, okay, right in the beginning, you have the demons and you have the Claymores created, okay, half demon, half human to fight them, so this makes sense. That was pretty cool. The whole idea that they're so separate, they're humans right in the beginning. When she goes into the village, you know, she's been called for Claymore to help, and one of the villagers, it takes a monster to fight a monster. So you could just see the separation. So you know that this person's, you know, living a hard life, but very stoic, dutiful, you know, but miserable. And it just reeks through Claire's personality. Did an awesome job with Claire. And then Raki, being a young idiot with the shock of everything that happened to him, and he's the spark, right, that opens her gets her back in touch with her humanity, and that's awesome. But gosh, he's an idiot, and but useful, specifically in the beginning. Okay, so I really enjoyed it, and like I said, the balance. You know, you have this power, right, and that's a problem. But the more of it, if you use too much of it, then you can't pull back and be fully human. So that is really impressive. Now, and then the whole thing with Teresa, okay, that was pretty interesting. I like that too. Now, a problem is 5 episodes, okay, it's a pretty good, yeah, that's a pretty good idea to get a feel, right, and do an assessment. But episode 5 in Claymore was not a good stopping point. About episode 3 was a good stopping point. Once you get to Teresa, episode 5, I had to see more. I'm like, okay, and so I ended up watching all of them. So I really enjoyed it. The whole thing, the organization, what's going on with that, the way they had it set up with the handlers, and just they're kind of almost Vulcan-like, you know, being pulled back and, you know, controlling, you know, using their humanity to control the demon forces that they're using. I really enjoyed it. So my initial assessment of this was really good. I was really hooked and really wanted to see more. And I'm going to go now. Spoilers, I'm going to talk about the rest of the series from here on, so if you haven't seen past the 5 episodes, if you haven't seen the whole thing, then you probably want to stop here, okay? And then, you know, if and when you do, you come back if you want, or you can do anything you want to. But I'm going to start talking about the series. Okay, I really had such high hopes. I connected to Claire. Okay, let's talk about the 3 main characters. Claire being the central, of course, Raki and Teresa, okay? And Teresa's sort of there, in a way, throughout most of the series. Okay, so let's just go ahead to Raki. Let's really go to the weak point of this whole thing, or the weakest point, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, in the beginning it makes sense. He's the spark. He's essential, and he's an idiot. He does a lot of dumb things in the beginning. He's a young kid. His family's been destroyed, and so it all made sense. But of course, he's gone through almost all the series, and then he ends up hooking up with Priscilla, which didn't really make any sense. This guy, Raki's just living on plot protection because he's a complete, utter idiot. Okay, and this is, but all through this stuff that's happened, I could still be okay with Raki, but right at the end, okay, his really only purpose in this series is to bring her back from her demon form in the end. And that's what he should have done. And that's what the author should have let him do. But not only was he not able to do that, it becomes clear why he wasn't able to do that. Because even Claire, at that point, all she cared about was revenge. She didn't give a damn about Raki. Okay? At all. That's why he didn't pull her back. Because she didn't care. She's like, well, I have nothing. She's all tore up about Teresa, and she wants to revenge. I have nothing to live. Raki, hello, what happened? The connection with you guys? Gone. So that was his whole point, everything. That was garbage. As far as I'm concerned, horrible writing, okay? Or as a fan, I haven't written any manga myself, but as a fan, I thought it sucked. So I'll just throw that out there. Teresa's different than Claire. Okay, Claire's miserable. I love the character of Claire. all the way through this. I have a lot of problems with this series as it moves forward and into the teens. It really started going down and got repetitive. But her character, I liked all the way through. Teresa, like I say, here's the difference between these two. Teresa was perfectly happy in her life, whacking demons all over the place. Her and her faint smile, okay, she was happy. She was happy and content. She wasn't miserable like Claire. Now, Claire got into her life, okay, as much as she tried to shake her off, and made her more intensely happy for a short period of time, which ended up getting her killed. But like I say, that's a big difference. And Claire that's miserable, okay, gets in touch with humanity because of Raki and then is happy. As opposed to Teresa, because she really wrecked Teresa's life. Let's just admit it. Teresa would probably still be there unless she got set up by the organization. Okay, and the way she was just kind of following orders probably would have still just been there. So that didn't really work for me either. There needed to be something. She needed to have not been as happy as she was. So that, to me, was bad writing. Okay, I didn't really care for that. Also, like, and this is what really got me about it. Okay, the repetitiveness of the stories of the Claymores. And even the dialogue of the demons, even the ones that have converted into demons, it was Mama, Papa. You know, it's the same stuff. The battle scenes, okay, the demons get bigger and the battle scenes get longer, but they're just boring. Now, I want to say to the credit, they did try to make the abilities of the different Claymores. I love the concept. I loved a lot of the concepts in this series. I just wish it would have been done in a much more interesting fashion. They made them varied, but even that, okay, here for, Monster 5, we've got the spinning sword technique, and we've got to set it up. This was, it was sad. Now, this is an ongoing manga. It's still released like every month or whatever, but I have no intention of reading it. I don't hate this series. I don't like it. It's not that entertaining. There's this character, Claire, that I like. There's the idea of the Claymores that I like, but it just got boring and repetitive. So that's it. That's pretty much what I think about it. The end was just not satisfying, but I realize this is an ongoing series, but it didn't really, to me, make any sense. That's what I think about it. What do you think about it? Now, just because I like or doesn't like something does not make that thing good or bad. So if you disagree or you have your different inputs, this channel is about viewer comments. Please feel free to put them down. The only thing I ask is for people to be respectful. That's all. Don't attack people, us. You can attack the imaginary characters in the anime or the writing or whatever. We can disagree without attacking each other as people. All right. Anybody could be an anime fan. Anybody can be a Claymore fan, although not so much me. You can always subscribe. You can always unsubscribe. You can do anything you want to. Until next time, take care.